Hey everybody, it's Mike and welcome to Chip Damage, and today I'm very excited to bring you a review of one of my favorite statues of all time. That is Amaterasu from Okami, brought to you by First4 Figures. So, to begin, if you've seen any of my other videos, you know I'm a massive fan of Okami. It's one of my favorite games of all time, top 10 easily. I've bought in this game multiple times. The original PS2 release, the Wii release with that weird IGN mark that people get hung up on. I imported the physical PS3 version a few years back, and I loved the most recent PS4 HD remaster, which I'm currently replaying for like the fourth time and absolutely adore. So when back in 2016, First4 announced that they were doing a statue following their other high quality statues and other video game series that I love of the main character Amaterasu, I needed to get it. So some stats on this beautiful figure before we get into the actual review. Like I said, this was released in late 2016 originally, and there were two variants. There was the regular version that released with a print run of 2,000 units created, and the limited run that I have here displayed for you, which had 1,350 units created. What's the difference? Well, the regular edition you can get anywhere. You can get them at other retailers. However, the limited edition you must have ordered from First4's website, and it was a few more dollars, but it got a very special bonus. That bonus being right here. You flip this little switch, and yes, the reflector shield, Amaterasu's weapon on her back, lights up. Unlike the previous First4 statues I have gone over, this is not powered by regular batteries. This is a rechargeable light powered with a USB charger. Very cool, makes it a bit more convenient, and it really adds a nice touch. I'm really glad I opted in to get that limited edition. But without further ado, let's get a good look at this, shall we? So, as you can see, this is a sizable figure. Yeah, this is about 17 inches long, and there's a good heft to this thing. Ami is displayed howling or barking as she should be, and it is just wonderful. As you can see, it comes on a base of springing flowers, and I'll just do a 360-degree turn out of this, and so you can just see the details. Like this is easily one of my favorite statues that I own. I think First4 did a bang-up job kind of recreating that cel-shaded look that Okami is so famous for. You can see the work on her tail and the little flourishes on her paws and near the end of her legs, like that strong black ink style. I really adore that. You know, Okami is one of the most beautiful games of all time. It has that unique art style, and that must have been difficult to capture, but they really did it here. And of course, if you haven't noticed, right in the back of Ami's shield, she's got her little companion Isun right there, who is very delicate. So if you ever get this statue, be very careful handling him. His limbs could very easily snap off if you're not careful. But you see him there in all his glory, wielding his mighty sword, ready to help Ami out in any of her fights and duels. And yeah, this is just wonderful. You get a good look there at her face, at her snout, and I'll bring it closer to the camera in a minute. But I just want to point out, like, First4 would go on to do multiple Okami statues based on Amaterasu and a number of other characters later down the road. There are many, many of them, but this was the first, and this is my favorite. This is kind of that spirit of Okami, you know, that defiant wolf with the reflector, and I'll turn that light back on just to show that, but just to show the detail, I'll bring this a little closer so you guys get a good look at our handsome boy Isun, who is pegged into Amaterasu's shield in the back. Like I said, very delicate. When handling this, the number one thing I would like to recommend if you're able to purchase this is that you take very good care of Isun, because he is paper light. Like, he has no weight to him, and those limbs cannot be that strong, so don't put any additional pressure on it. But like I said, this has a good amount of weight to it. It takes up a lot of space, but if you have that type of room in your display, this obviously stands up. This is on top of my game shelf. I keep this prominently displayed with my multiple copies of Okami. I will lean her back a little bit just to show on the bottom the info that First4 always displays there with the individual number that every statues of theirs get. I got, if you can see that there, 932 out of 1,350, officially licensed by Capcom. And yeah, that's Ami. Jeez. Just a spiel about Okami. Yeah, this game made by one of the best development teams of all time, Clover Studios, who would go on later to be Platinum Games, who've made games that you've probably heard of if you're watching this video, such as Bayonetta and Vanquish, Wonderful 101, so on and so forth. But kind of their magnum opus in the early days as Clover Studios under Capcom was Okami. Obviously took a lot of inspiration from Legend of Zelda games. I mean, Capcom had worked on some of the prior Legend of Zelda games, so they knew what they were doing. And I hate to say, and I know this is kind of controversial, I like Okami more than any other Zelda game. Like, I think it's just better. As much as I love Zelda, but Okami just kind of is my jam. That classical Japanese look with great combat by Capcom, big open world. I love this game. It's one of my favorites. So when this statue came out, decided to drop the money to pick it up. You can still find resellers of the original statue, the non-light up one, for a decent price online. I do suggest it. It is a lot of money, but if you have that type of disposable income and you're a big enough Okami fan, I can't recommend this enough. Like I said, this one never goes back in the box. This is always prominently displayed. So yeah, Amaterasu from Okami. One last look at this beautiful girl from the side. And yeah, so if you've liked what you've seen here today, please look for my other videos where I review not just First4 figure statues, but a multitude of video game, comic book, and anime related figures from many types of media. My name is Mike. This has been Chip Damage. Consider subscribing and have a great day. Thank you.